songs for the true correct to the best of your knowledge.
John Hayes,
Morning, Judge.
good morning. So there was a mental health court referral. What is the status?
He's being screened this week. I spoke with him this morning. The state's also tendered us with an offer that we're considering. I would just ask for a 2-week short reset for us to come back and make a determination on
Okay.
whether we're gonna accept the plea, and if so, what plea.
You want to come back on the 12th?
We can, or the week prior to that works as
All
well.
right, prior then it's the 4th, or the 7th.
The 4th works, Judge.
All right, Norma, if you can recall this for November 4th, it'll be a plea deadline date. All right,
Okay,
thank you.
sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any, I'm sorry, sir, do you have any questions for the court?
No, we don't.
All right, we'll bring you back then, okay?
Thank you.
Who's here? Michael Rodriguez?
I am. May he approach judge as well?
Yes. All right, so where are we on this case?
I've conferred with Mr. Garahan. We're very close to resolution. There's a few matters Mr. Garahan and myself want to review. So we're asking to come back in a couple of weeks
All right,
for resolution. I would like to come back if I could. November 18th.
I can do November 17th.
Okay, 17th is a Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at October. So you're saying November 18th, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you back on November 18th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, do you have any questions, sir?
Right. No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
ma'am.
All right, Charles,
Yes, Judge.
on this case, okay, this night mag number comes back as indicted. Is that correct?
I believe he has 4 indicted cases.
I only have 3, so maybe I'm missing one.
Grab the court's files, the state's files.
All right, so I have this night mag, it appears that it's been indicted. It's 2024 CR 010228.
Yeah, I have that one, yes.
Okay, let me put this in the notes, just 1 second. All right, and then I have 2024 010032.
Yes, I have that one.
Okay, let me write this in here. All right, and then I have 2024 CR 5091.
19. I have 19. The state's file says 5019.
Okay, let me see.
Let me double check the indictment.
All right, 5019.
Yes,
All right, and then I don't have another one. Do you have
I have
another one?
2024
Okay.
CR 010226.
Wait, 2024 CR
Yes,
0.
010226.
All right, I don't have that file. So if you can make sure that that's pulled next time, Marco.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You, Jason.
Judge Babbage.
Yes.
Judge, we worked out Mr. Martinez, Rocky Martinez,
Okay,
but we're gonna have to come back this afternoon to get all the paperwork out.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Judge, may I approach?
Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Yes, who do you have?
Armando Garcia.
All right, if you can have them pull the file.
Garcia.
Thank you. All right, Armando Garcia.
Judge, he's on the docket today. He hadn't been brought up yet, but I was wondering if I could recall this case for tomorrow. I'm here on Larry Smith tomorrow as well with family violence.
Okay, have you asked them to bring him up?
Yes,
Okay,
still waiting.
He's under it.
all right, so once he gets here, we'll take it up. All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Hubbard. Come forward.
Oh, here, ma'am.
Hubbard, right here, Ms. Hubbard.
Okay,
Hello.
hello, how are you?
All right, how are you doing?
Good, just trying to get out of here.
Okay. Well, your attorney said that your evaluation is upcoming, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge. It is scheduled for October 22nd.
All right, your evaluation is scheduled for October 22nd. And you filed a motion seeking a reduction of bond, is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
All right, have you conferred with the state on the bond reduction?
I have not.
All right, so if you have a seat in the box, your attorney is gonna confer with the state on the bond reduction, and then I'll hear the bond reduction.
So Judge, I don't think there's any amount that would be, other than a PR bond, that would assist my client.
Okay. All right, if you want to talk to the state.
We'll waive the hearing at this point.
Oh, all right. If Ms. Hubbard, if you'll come down, please.
Additionally, Judge, I don't think she's competent, so I don't feel comfortable going forward on bond hearing.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hubbard.
Yes,
Hi. So your attorney wants you to have you interviewed before we hear the bond reduction.
yes, I would like to know the bond.
Okay.
I'll get her the current amount, Judge.
All right. So if you all will confer then on the bond, then I'll hear it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Does anyone have any sticky Post-it notes?
Got one right here, Judge.
Thank you. Armando Garcia? Come down, please. All right, and you're asking that this be recalled for tomorrow?
Yes, Judge. This
For
way we have
what
more-
purpose?
So we have more time to focus on it, given that it's 5 minutes to noon right now. But hopefully we can do our best to try to resolve the case tomorrow. And I'm here on another case as well. That's why I'm gonna
Okay,
be able to focus this morning. I was stuck in 3 other courts, Judge, and on 3 different trial settings and
okay.
resolved most of them.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, if you'll recall Mr. Garcia for tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, the last case I'm going to take up before recess is going to be Hubbard. Then everyone else will need to come back this afternoon.
You may be excused.
Yes, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Armando Orozco. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 008453. State of Texas versus Armando Orozco. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Jason, you're here for the state, Your Honor.
Attorney Alvarez for Mr. Orozco.
And are you Mr. Orozco?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony.
Yes, sir.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility
Yes,
and
sir.
up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there are no applications. There's to be restitution to Marisol Cruz Vinton, Vinton. There's to be 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting no contact with Marisol Cruz Vinton. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we just ask that you follow the plea bargaining agreement.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's to be no contact and restitution to Marisol Cruz Vinton. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. When people loan you a vehicle, you need to return it. And if you can't be responsible, then don't take it. You understand? And I'm sure that vehicle was not clean on the inside based upon the parties involved, what I read about them. So if you borrow a vehicle, bring it back on time, and at least put some gas in the tank and clean it. All right? Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maybe excuse.
Yes.
You have a good day, Judge.
You too. All right, who's here on John Ochoa? All right, court is calling 2024 CR 008773. State of Texas versus John Anthony Ochoa. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Scott Sullivan for the defense.
And are you Mr. Ochoa?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, is this an application for both deferred or in regular probation?
I would say deferred is the agreement we have with the state.
Okay. All right. So did you understand the state is proceeding on possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea?
Yes, it is.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, and the DOEP course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
And I think he's a good candidate for deferred adjudication. He talked about cleaning his life up, and I think the programs that the probation office found him will help him a lot. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. How old are you?
26.
When's the last time you had employment?
Employment?
Mhm.
A little bit before I got arrested.
Doing what?
I was at Burger King.
How far did you go in school?
I dropped out senior year.
Why? Why?
I fell in. I was just making bad choices.
Do you have children?
I have one,
Age?
8.
And was this the 8-year-old that was in the car with you on that stay? So what is your relationship to Jada Morrison?
She was a friend.
And there were children in the car, correct? Were they her children?
Yes.
And how old were they?
7, 5, I think, and I think 4.
When's the last time you saw your child?
Little bit before I got arrested.
Why would y'all have marijuana and drugs in a vehicle, first of all, to begin with, but then having it in a vehicle with a 7, 5, and 4-year-old? And the car smelled like marijuana, so that means that people were smoking marijuana in the car over a 7, 5, and 4-year-old. What do you think that does to their brain cells?
Not good for them.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out, what are people thinking when they're driving in a vehicle and smoking marijuana and doing drugs in a vehicle with children who are 7, 5, and 4? I mean, what's your thought process? Do you still light it up even though children are in the back seat? Are you thinking, what are you thinking?
I wasn't smoking or doing that.
Well, I mean, what are you thinking having drugs in a vehicle when you have a 7, 5, and 4-year-old in the car? I'm just trying to figure out, what is the thought process? Do we say, oh, there's a 7, 5-year-old and a 4-year-old in the car, so let me not do this? Because I would hate if the mother or my child were with some guy with my 8-year-old in the back seat and doing drugs. I'm just trying to figure out, what's the thought process behind committing crimes while children are around? I mean, are they giving any thought at all, or just like, they're here, but I want to do my drugs, so I'll do them while they're here?
I was around and I just got picked up and everything.
Oh, well, it was in your pocket. That's possession.
Yeah, but I wasn't with her. She picked me up, the kids were already with her. So.
Mm-hmm. And there's a smell of marijuana in the car. And I'm sure there was loud music going on because people always act as though everybody wants to hear their music. I mean, I don't know why you're giving me the side eye. You're in a vehicle with children, and I don't know why people don't put children first in their life, why children always come second and third down the line until when people get in trouble, then they want to use children and say, I got a child to take care of. Or then they want to use their children. Well, you know, my child is in the hospital and I need to be out there to support them. But when they're in the real world, nobody cares about children. They are probably like 6 or 7 down the rung of important things. Why is that?
I don't know, I can't speak for other people. I didn't say any of that.
Well,
I wasn't using my child as an excuse or nothing.
well, let me ask you this. Children, this 7, 5, and 4-year-old cannot take care of themselves. So why would you even get in a vehicle with drugs on you when there's a 7, 5, and 4-year-old in the vehicle?
I just needed
Going where?
to get dropped off at a friend's. Yeah.
Oh, so now we have the sick friend. The sick friend is above children. Okay. And this sick friend who's above the 7, 5, and 4-year-old, how old are they?
A sick friend
Yeah, your sick friend. You said you were going to see a friend or sick friend?
getting dropped off at a friend's.
Oh, why were you needing to go to this friend's house?
I needed to leave where I was at
Why?
because they were leaving.
So you're just going to a random friend's house? Okay, that doesn't make sense to me, but okay, I'll buy it for $1. All right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with minors. And was Child Protective Services called during this time? Mother with drugs and somebody else in the vehicle with drugs? Was Child Protective Services called out to the scene? What did the police do? Did they just let her go on her way with her 3 children?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully somebody will help the children. There's to be no contact with minors. There's to be no contact. Jada, Jada, Lynn, Lynn. Child Protective Service. Police should have called Child Protective Services. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. Who do you stay with?
I'm gonna be staying with my parents.
Did you pick up the phone and call them and ask them you could say?
Yeah.
That sounds like he didn't pick up the phone and ask them. Counsel, did he call his parents and say, can I, a grown adult male, live with you even though I don't have a job?
No.
All right. There's going to be partial GPS, waive fees, and it's for employment. So that means that you getting rides to be with at some friend's house, that's not happening. The only time you'll be allowed to leave your house if you're going to work. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. He's going to complete parenting classes. Once parenting classes are completed, I'll waive 50 hours. And then the remaining hours will be waived once he obtains his GED or is in some type of trade school. And if CPS is involved, CPS compliance, there's to be TAP evaluation in custody, follow recommendations, field visits, 1 time per month for 4 months, proof of employment within 40 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors or in the lawn service. I'm gonna have to start adding that because everybody says they do lawn work and then it turns out they are not doing lawn work. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, sir. You may not care about somebody else's children, but you have a child. And I know you don't want somebody to be smoking drugs. Hopefully, you don't want anybody smoking drugs around your child. You don't want somebody to have drugs in their pocket around your child. That's stuff that you need to be thinking about when you're doing it to other people's children. Do you understand?
Judge.
Yes.
His mother is here.
Yes.
My understanding, there are young children in the home.
Mm-hmm. But he can't stay there. Young children must be protected. And Mom, he's an adult. He got to get a job and figure it out. All right, thank you.
Judge, may I approach?
Once I put this in, I'll call you up. All right, anybody else, if you have a case, you need to have the clerk pull it and put it up here and I'll call your name. Otherwise, I don't know who's up. But Sean, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You know what? When I go speak, I have to tell men, you all need to get checked as well. So I've scheduled my appointment. All right, who is here on Roylan Sanchez? And counsel, there's no application. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 2137, State of Texas versus Roylan Sanchez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Edelman.
Defense.
Megan Enriquez for Roylan Sanchez.
And are you Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the offense of robbery. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, sir.
State is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as chart, well, to the lesser included offense of robbery, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Would you like to proceed with sentencing?
Your Honor, I believe we requested to reset for a PSI.
Okay, that's going to be about 8 weeks.
Let me just speak with me. Okay, we changed that. We will proceed today and we'll just speak to the count on the record.
All right. So, Mr. Sanchez, are you waiving your right to a PSI?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and are you asking to proceed with sentencing today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, do you have any objections to proceeding with sentencing today? All right, so of course, I do have a few questions. I note that there was a repeat offender enhancement allegation that was waived. Is there any other criminal history other than that offense?
There is, Your Honor. Your Honor, would you like to see it?
Yes, please. Any objection?
No, Your Honor. One thing that I'm not prepared with today, Your Honor, is that we did have an agreement that it would run concurrent with a 2-year sentence that he recently was adjudicated on an abating out of Harris County, and I do not have the cause number for that case today.
Well, what I'll do is I'll put in there that it's to run concurrent with the Harris County cause number. And then if you come in the next day with that, just let the clerks know what it is.
I'll do that. Thank you.
So I'll put concurrent with Harris County 2-year sentence.
That's correct. And we'd also be requesting from the court that he be given credit for any time that he spent in custody since the warrant was issued on this case that was in Harris County.
All right, with
And I'll
that,
get
you
those
need to
dates
get
as
the
well.
dates.
Yes.
All right, so let me just review the criminal history. And defense, did you have a chance to review the criminal history as well? While your attorney is reviewing that, sir, do you know which court you were out of in Harris County?
No, ma'am. I know when I got incarcerated, though.
Well, what's the charge in Harris County?
Evading arrest for the motor vehicle.
Okay.
With the argument.
Yes, or if you have witnesses, if you would like to call him as a witness, you may.
Just very briefly, I'll call my client as a witness. Raise your right hand and let the judge swear you in.
All right. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Roylan Sanchez.
All right, you may proceed.
Roylan, you understand that now that we're proceeding with sentencing today, the judge has a decision to make on how long you're going to spend in TDC. You understand that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that she's accepted your plea bargain, but she can sentence you between 2 and 8 years, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you taking responsibility for your action on that day? That means for appearance in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
And when I played you the 911 call, from the store clerk, was that good to hear? That was good?
Oh, no,
for
no,
you to
no, no,
hear?
no, no, I thought, like, if I could hear good, no.
No, you were shaken up. When I played it for you, I saw a lot of humility, and I told you about that, and that was good. That was not good for you to hear, right?
No, no.
You did not fully appreciate how your actions that day affected and scared another person. In the moment, you didn't appreciate it. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But now I've pointed out and showed you some evidence of how it made her feel that day. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you feel bad for that?
Most definitely.
Okay, and although she's not here in the courtroom today, the state has been in contact with her. She wasn't able to pick you out of a lineup, but she does remember feeling scared in that moment. So if she's watching this or has a chance to watch us at a later date, you can look right here in this camera and apologize to that store clerk.
Yes. You mind if I can apologize, Yana?
I mean, you're under oath, whatever you would like to say.
I mean, if she's listening, I would like to say I apologize. There's no justification on why it happened, but it happened, you know? And I apologize, I'm taking responsibility on it. I just want to move forward. I understand that I'm gonna have to, do some time incarcerated to do that. And, I'm willing to accept that, you know?
Are you sorry for your actions that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there anything else that you would like Judge Boyd to know from your perspective before she makes her decision? And I know that I realize that you're not prepared to do this today, but just off the cuff.
I mean, I apologize for all of us being here today for the situation. You know, all of you did the right things. Not put anybody in that type of predicament, we would be here. I'm not incompetent, I know what I'm doing, but I do realize that my actions weren't working. I got kids, like you said, everybody pulls the kids' cards. I'm not saying that's why I gotta go home. You know, I just want to better move on and be a better man and move forward.
So what are your motivations to not be before this judge after your time in PBC or any other judge anywhere?
I'm definitely not gonna be doing the same lifestyle I was doing, that's for sure. I was working before incarcerated too. I plan to continue to keep on working when I come home. Whenever I do get released, I do have a steady job that I go home to.
What is that job?
Construction,
What type of
but
construction?
beneath the bar, it's building patios.
Is that in Houston or San Antonio? Okay, so when your plan, when you're released from TDC, whatever that may be, is to live in Houston?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where your mom lives?
Yes, ma'am.
And to work and to provide for your children? And to never commit any type of criminal offense again for the rest of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
And be committed to your family? So that brings me to another point. Also, I actually do know that your mom is watching from Houston. So I do think that you owe everyone who loves you an apology. Your mom, your brother, your sister, these are all people who are actively involved in your case and who care about you. And that I have personally talked to, so I also think you probably owe them an apology.
You don't mind, I want to apologize to my family, putting my brother in a predicament to where he has to stop what he's doing with his family to do with my stuff. My sister to constantly check up on her. I mean, my attorney to make sure what's going on for my mom because she is sick. And I keep putting her through some stress, you know. And we had this talk literally just yesterday. Like this can't happen anymore. You know, at one point it has to stop.
Why don't you make them a promise under oath on the record to your family?
Yeah. I promise not to commit any other felonies, misdemeanors, or any kind of illegal activities.
All right, any questions?
Mr. Sanchez,
Yes, sir.
you were describing, well, you weren't describing, you mentioned the life that you've been living. Could you briefly describe what life you've been living that led you to this point?
It wasn't an honest life. As far as my childhood or like growing up, that what led me to you?
It was your description, so you describe it however you feel is appropriate.
Just wasn't honest living.
Was there a point where you were living honestly?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, sir.
What changed that led you to go from living honestly to living dishonestly?
It's problems that happen in life. I mean, like, there's no big enough problem in the world to be going out there and creating problems, but just slip ups.
What were those slip ups?
Separating, not having my kids around for a moment, fighting custody of the kids, dealing with my brother's death, still things like that. Ended up reverted me to the life that I was already living when I came home on parole. When I came home on parole, I was going to barber college. I was working. I did that for a good year. Yeah, it's like a good year and a half before I got the straight.
So you were keeping on the straight and narrow for a year to a year and a half. Did something happen to take you off the straight and narrow?
Yeah, dealing with the custody of my kids, things like that.
For this specific incident, what was your thought process, if you can describe it? What led you to believe that this offense was a good idea? And it's possible that you can articulate it, and if you can't articulate it, you can't find the words, that's
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how to explain it.
Thank you. I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
Briefly, just to clarify, when did your brother pass away?
2022.
So that the timeline is clear about when that happened and how it may affect you.
All right. I have a few questions if that's no objections. So I don't understand how your brother passing away equals to you committing a robbery. So explain. Because according to
the robbery didn't get committed because my brother passed away. The robbery got committed because I was under the influence. Not saying I wasn't 100% impaired to where I just didn't know what I was doing, but I wasn't in the right state of mind.
all right, so how much time do you think you deserve? According to this, it's a cap of 8 years.
Yeah, I don't know what I deserve, but
I mean, sure you do.
I know what I would ask for.
No. What do you deserve? For example, some people, like your punishment is a cap of 8, which means I can sentence you anywhere from 2 to 8 years. Some people will say, well, I really want 2, or I really want probation. That's what I want. I'm not asking you what you want. I'm asking you, what do you deserve for the actions you took involving the complainant in this case? Somebody who was working at their job, doing the right thing, right?
No.
And sometimes I have to tell people, for example, let's say it's your mom, your brother, just trying to do their job. They don't like the job they're working. This isn't where they saw their life would be, but they're still saying, you know what, I'm making an honest living. This wasn't my dream job, but I'm making an honest living. And then let's say that happens and John Doe walks in and does what you did. What would you be asking? This wasn't my dream job, but I'm making an honest living. And then let's say that happens and John Doe walks in and does what you did. What would you be asking for punishment for them? And this is where honesty comes in with yourself.
If that man signed a cap 8, I would ask for the cap 8. All right.
Yeah. So what do you deserve? Because a lot of times people will, I want to say, not really be concerned because the person who is the victim or the complainant, it's like, it's not my relative. So they have no attachment to that person. Because when you see people who do awful things sometimes, right? They have no attachment to that person. Maybe they don't see that person as a human being, or maybe they say, you know what? It's not their money. So why won't they just give me the money when I walk in and say, hey, give me the money? You understand? So what do you think you deserve, knowing that you've been to prison before? Which prison, sometimes rehabilitation doesn't occur. unless you really want to be rehabilitated. Because I already know how prison is. Not that I've been there, but from what I've been told, from what I've seen in documentaries, from people who've been to prison, and it turns out they didn't commit the crime, they're innocent. They're like, no, prison, you're on 24-hour watch because you got to watch your back because people are not in there to just let you do your time in peace, right?
Just not.
So you did your time in prison. And how much time did you do in prison?
I'm finishing up the 7.
So 7. And is that 7 on this repeater count, the drug case?
Then this place.
So 7 for that. And had you ever been to prison other than that one time?
No, no.
So why didn't you learn anything from being in prison that maybe you don't want to go back there again?
I did learn.
But it didn't stop you from committing a new offense. Why didn't it stop you from committing a new offense?
I wasn't thinking at the moment. I know it's not everybody's answer. I know.
No, I mean, sometimes people want fast money. And I understand when people want fast money, but then we end up here. Because fast money is not good money. I don't know how much money you made off with. It seems like it was $20. And you know, $20, that means if you were able to take the full $20, that it doesn't appear like he did take the full $20. You know, every year you do the math. And you have to ask yourself, was that little amount of money worth me going to prison over?
Oh, no.
All right, is there anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, can I ask a few follow-up questions of Mr. Sanchez? Mr. Sanchez, would you agree with me that the Roylan Sanchez that walked into the convenience store that day deserves 8 years in TDC? Would you agree with that statement?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that the person that walked in to the convenience store that day is not the person that is standing in front of Judge Boyd right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Boyd brought up a really good point about feeling detached and not realizing how your actions affect another person. Is it fair to say that before fully reviewing all of this discovery in our meetings, you didn't fully appreciate how your actions affected another person? Is that fair to say?
No, ma'am.
And can you tell the judge that in reviewing that, you were humbled? Is that correct? And you feel really bad about how you made that person feel. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't realize that until you saw a video and saw 911 calls. So you are now a different person. You now have more humility, and you now have more reason to change your lifestyle when you're released from TDC as you stand here in front of Judge Boyd today.
Yes, ma'am.
And also as how you've now had time to see how your actions not only affected that scorecard, but affected your family, has caused a bit of a rift between your mom and your brother. Your like you said, your brother taking time away from his family to help with your issues, and your sister and your mom, who all have their own lives, but your actions have caused this stress on people that you love and somebody that you don't know. Is that reason and motivation to change your life when released from TDC? Your last trip to TDC was for drugs. So in that case, you were just harming yourself. In this case, you've affected other people. Is that correct? And so now we're not asking Judge Boyd to give you what you deserve, because we've already admitted that it's probably, but now we're asking for mercy from the person that stands before her today, and to sentence you on the lower end of the cap. Correct?
It's not.
So it's not what you deserve. We are begging her for mercy.
All right, any other questions?
When you're on,
Yes.
you're not the person that you were when you committed this offense.
Well, then,
My question is, who do you intend to be in the future?
a better person than I am today. I reached a every day, I try to make a difference. Whether it's something small, helping somebody out, helping somebody, over here, we got GD classes. I got my GD, so I do little things to try to help out and be a better person. No, one little thing's not gonna change me. I know all the little things I'm doing as I move forward with. So I plan on just continue to keep doing what I'm doing and be a better person and all around that.
I hope to stick to it.
Listen,
All right, so you're asking for less than 8, correct?
That's correct.
What specifically are you asking for?
2, concurrent with the 2 that he was sentenced to in his county.
All right, in state, I assume you're asking for 8?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So here's the thing. I internalized everything that everyone is saying, right? So I've understood your counsel's argument. I understand that she wants 8 years. I'm sorry, she wants 2. See, I'm seeing if everybody's awake. I'm understanding that she wants 2 and the state wants 8. I do understand that you have, hopefully, I think, internalized the wrong that you've done and what you put somebody else through. If I were to sentence you to 8 years, that means that each year is worth the $2.50, because if you divide the 20 into the 8, it's $2.50 per year. And you have to ask yourself, was my 8 years really worth $2.50 per year? But I'm taking in consideration the fact that you entered a plea, and you entered a plea fairly quickly. But I'm not going to give you the 2 years because I don't feel as though 2 years is justice, right? It is appropriate in this case, I should say. I'm not going to give you the 8 years. I'm going to sentence you to 7 years in the prison. I'm going to give you credit for any time served. There should be no contact with Ms. Smith. And this will run concurrent with your Harris County case. And counsel, I've given you a couple of numbers. If you call any of those numbers before you leave, they'll be able to give you his cause number and how much time he served. I'm going to request the therapeutic community. I cannot force them to place you in the therapeutic community. That will be completely up to them. But if you don't ask for it, you definitely will not receive it. Do you understand? We can go off the record from here on out. Let me just tell you, if, depending on the level of felony, if there's another felony that's committed by you and it's proven to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, your minimum is 25 years at the prison. And from here on out, everything that you're considering on doing, you need to ask yourself, if it's something that you should not be doing, how much time am I looking at? And I guarantee you, nobody in here would think that $2.50 is worth a year of your life. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.